Hello everyone, I'm DC. Welcome to me Learning to Live again. Hope you're all well and having a great day or night wherever you are. First off, I just want to say hello, a very special hello to all my friends and family in Japan. It's great to see you all the last couple of weeks, and I hope to see you all again soon. So today I want to show you some places we went out to eat in Japan while we were there. These are just a few. I mean, there's just so much variety of food in Japan. It really is remarkable, actually, compared to places like here in Australia, where you have very limited choices, and it's very cheap as well. In fact, I found that sometimes it's just as cheap or sometimes cheaper to eat out at a restaurant than it is to eat at home. For example, these all-you-can-eat barbecue restaurants and shabu shabu, what they call shabu shabu restaurants. You can basically eat all the meat you want for a set time period. And, a lot of these what they call tabe holidays, which just means like a buffet, all you can eat. They'll have a set time. Some were like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and one in particular, a very cheap place, was up to 5 hours. So it's quite remarkable. So I'm just going to I'll show you some video that we filmed there, and I'll explain along the way. Okay, so here we are. Let's go up here, and this like this, I did took some photos of some advertising, just a little bit. This one here is a vending machine where you can get meat from a vending machine. Up the top there, let's just play that again. There we are. At the top there, this is all Wagyu Japanese beef, very good quality from a vending machine. This here, just passing by near home, is a $5 steak lunch. It's very good. And obviously the amount of seafood and variety in Japan is remarkable. I mean, they literally eat anything that swims or even moves in the ocean. So meat's very popular. And here's another meat vending machine. It's all steak. This is another place we had lunch. We had a big bowl of steak. It was quite good. And this is another yakiniku. It was very, very good. And just everywhere, just absolutely everywhere in Japan. So this is a bit that we shot. This in particular, tabe holiday, it's called yakiniku. It's just barbecue. Now this started at $30. You can get different courses, and it just opens up like different types of meat that you can order. And this one started at $30 Australian, and it was for 100 minutes. All right, so this is another yakiniku tabe holiday, okay, which is basically just barbecue beef, all you can eat. This is 100 minutes for about $30 Australian. All right. So you can eat as much meat as you want for the next 100 minutes for $30. That's brilliant. Each table has its own little barbecue pot in the middle, pit, and you just cook it as you eat, and it's just a fantastic way to eat, I think. But this is Japan. They love meat. There's meat everywhere. In fact, today I was in the post office. I was sorting out my visa, and even in the post office, they're advertising meat dishes and curries and all sorts of stuff with meat in it. It's everywhere in Japan. This is Japan. This is fantastic. We're going to go inside in a minute, and we're going to eat as much as we can. This is a When they say all you can eat, I say challenge accepted. Let's go. This is round one, guys. This is what I'm starting with. Okay. Now this is our table. Okay. See a little barbecue pit in the middle of the table. Okay. This is the barbecue pit. We cook and we eat. It's fantastic. This little robot here is delivering our food. How cool is that? I'm going to make it work hard tonight. Now you can see here what I'm doing. Yeah, we've got gyro tongue, okay, which is beef tongue. Alright. We dip it in egg, raw egg, and eat it just like that. For that 100 minutes, we eat as much as we want, and it just keeps coming. This is fantastic. Yeah, that that 100 minutes. As soon as you order the meat or whatever you want through the tablet, it comes out within a matter of minutes. Now these tablet holders, it's not just all you can eat. You can also pay a little extra, and you can get all you can drink as well. A lot of them also have dessert bars, and they remarkably tempting as well. They have all these beautiful assortments of cakes and sweets, waffles, ice cream, jellies, all sorts of things that you can eat, pancakes and things like that, depending on where you go. Drink bars, can range anywhere. Some of them are extremely cheap. The one at this restaurant was $15, which we didn't get, obviously, but if you're that way inclined, you for $15 you can get all you can drink, and it includes all alcohols, spirits, beers, soft drinks, cocktails, juices, anything you want, really. So it's quite remarkable. Very cheap. So let's keep going here. Fantastic. I absolutely love this. This is how you yakiniku in Japan, okay? It's like beef barbecue. Look at this. You get lots of meat. You get steak, thin strips. Yeah. Straight off the cooker. This one we're going to dip in a bit of egg. Okay. This is beef bao. Okay, in Japan they eat it nose to tail. They eat absolutely everything. Okay, the feet, the organs, the bao, everything. Okay, just stop there again. Now, this is quite a popular dish as well in Japan. The bao, they eat it for collagen, and they eat most organs, so liver and kidney and things like that as well. They literally eat the animal nose to tail, and it's very popular. Another thing, this is not an unusual way to eat in Japan either. This is not just restaurants. The family will sit around a hot plate and do this at home as well. They'll put their veggies on the hot plate, cook their meat on the hot plate, and just sit there with maybe have a side dish or like a side bowl of rice, and they'll eat exactly the same way. The difference is that this is just easy. You don't have to do any cleanup, So okay, guys, I'm just going to show you how much we ordered. see we ordered over 4 pages
menu.
of meat.
Options,
This is the menu.
For that 100 minutes, everything on that menu you can order. So all the meats, including their desserts, but people say the meat, but there are This was me about 40 minutes, 50 minutes in.
Wait, guys, I'm so full I can barely walk.
Yeah, so that was what they call yakiniku tabe holiday, so just barbecue. And Japanese love barbecue. In fact, while I was there, I went for a walk, through different parks. I'll just pause that there. And, it was changing of the season. And every change of season, the Japanese celebrate each season, in spring. They celebrate the cherry blossoms, have what they call a cherry blossom sort of festival. And basically all it is like family barbecues in the park. And, they just eat barbecue and drink a lot, Summer is the same. They have these firework festivals and they barbecue and drink a lot. And we got there just at the beginning of autumn, or fall. And it was the same thing, that you go to the parks and there were quite often, groups of families there having barbecues. And one park, I was walking around about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and there was a large gathering of, people barbecuing near the river. Quite often they'll go by there's a lot of rivers there, so quite often they'll go to like the banks of the river and they'll barbecue and things like that. So in fall they do that, pretty much just to celebrate the change of season, autumn coming, changing the colors and things like that. So they love to barbecue a lot, even for breakfast. So all right, so let's continue there. This here, that was actually, I was just showing you that is the drink menu for $15. The drink bar, you can drink all you want, including beers, spirits, wines, and that sort of thing. And the next restaurant we went to, this is called Shabu Shabu. Okay, now this is all you can eat meat restaurant again, but this time it's just cooked a little differently.
Okay, so this is Shabu Shabu Tabe Holiday restaurant. Okay, we have a big pot in the middle of the table and we just cook it and eat it as we go.
Hi guys, so this is shabu shabu. Okay, so different to the yakiniku where we put it in the barbecue and pit in the middle. This time we sort of boil it, okay, and eat it like that. Okay, so obviously I came in for meat, but included in that buffet is a sweets bar, so you can make your own waffles and ice cream and cake, and a salad bar, so all the salads you can eat, and they have udon noodles and rice, and of course all you can eat. But of course, all we need obviously is the meat. If you pay extra, you can also get a drink bar, which includes alcohol, and you can drink as much as you want for that 5 hours. I don't know anywhere else where you can eat as much as you want for between $12 and $20 for that kind of meal. It's amazing. It's so cheap, and all the meat you can eat. Good beef, good pork. Yeah, so that particular buffet, that starts at 1,200 yen, which is at roughly $12 Australian at the moment. Probably about $9 US. So it's, if you get just a pork and chicken buffet, okay, which is all you can eat for 5 hours, you can enter this restaurant from 11 a.m. and it runs till 4 p.m. Okay. So it's really cheap, and it's good quality meat too. We got, obviously, the $20 all you can eat includes the beef. So again, $20 Australian is very, very cheap for a 5-hour buffet. That includes so much. You also have a salad bar and desserts bar, but obviously we went there for the meat, and this one was very filling actually. So, and they have chicken and other meat. So where else can you get it cheaper than Japan?
Seriously, those like shabu shabu is a traditional way of cooking. Like usually they do this at home in the middle of the table, big pot, cooktop, and the whole family will sit around and they'll do this. They'll cook this way at home. Okay, they'll cook their meat and veggies, or they usually put in a big soup, and they'll cook the meat as it cooks. As soon as it cooks, they sort of eat it as we go. But you can go here in Japan. You can also just go to this little tabe holiday restaurants, which means it's like a buffet restaurant, and seriously eat as much as you want. You can do that every day. If you're a carnivore, for example, or even just someone on a budget, even just pork and chicken tabe holiday, okay, buffet, is like 1,200 yen, which is like $12 Australian a month for that 5-hour period. This one's 5 hours. Most of them are around an hour and a half, 2 hours. But this one is particularly cheap. And honestly, like not many people are going to sit and eat for 5 hours straight. So there's really going to be very few people do that. But it's just incredible. It's a very, very cheap way to eat, a very cheap way to live. Especially if you're on one meal a day, like carnivore, kind of stuff yourself full of beef, and on your way. You don't have to worry about doing the dishes. You don't have to worry about preparing the food. And you're cooking in stock as well, so you're getting the stock from the beef. Very nice fatty meat. It's very good. And cheap. I can't imagine ever finding a cheap place like this to eat in Australia, nor anywhere else where I've been. So it just shows you all the BS that they tell you. Japan's so expensive, you can't live there. It's too expensive. People do live here, okay, and it's not expensive. It's very cheap. Today we went out to Matsushima. We're looking at souvenirs. Unbelievably cheap. It's a very affordable place to live, and meat everywhere, seafood. I mean, all kinds of seafood and all kinds of meat. They eat nose to tail, everything, absolutely everything, including the bowels, everything. Absolutely nothing goes to waste. They love it, and so. I recommend it if you ever come to Japan, just experience it, because it's an absolutely fantastic place to live. Young people in Australia, they'll hang out at junk food places like Mac and Burger King, or all these crappy junk food places because they're cheap. Here in Japan, like young people, kids, teenagers, they all hang out at places like this, like where you can eat buffets, because it's cheap. It's really cheap, and they're eating well. They eat healthy. They fill up on meat.
Yeah, I was just talking about how young people hang out at restaurants, decent restaurants like that in Japan, because it is cheap. They go to yakiniku table holidays and like shabu shabu and different places like that, rather than hang out at places like Mac and the rest of the junk food places. Like here in Australia and in America, childhood obesity is pretty much out of control at the moment. It's quite a rare thing in Japan, largely because of the diet. They eat quite well, generally speaking, and they are far more active. As I've stated before, while we were there, just getting around, we were doing an average of 21,000 steps every single day. They use a lot of, bicycles and public transport a lot as well. I mean, they, of course, a lot do drive, but even then, they still have to walk a lot. They walk quite a lot, especially around the city, So it's a big difference. You can see it, not only like the adult population, but also the children and younger adults. They just eat much better than we do at the moment.
And they do well throughout the rest of the day. It's a big difference. You look at the obesity problem in Australia and America, in kids especially. Okay. You think about why. These kids in Japan, it's very rare to see a fat kid, right? And they're eating a lot of meat. Cheap.
Again, that was me about 40 minutes in. I was struggling a lot.
Guys, I am struggling here. I'm really struggling to get the last 2 pieces of meat down. It is almost 1 kilo of meat. I haven't eaten all day. Had a yakiniku tabi holiday yesterday for lunch. Had a tabi holiday the night before. Every day is nothing but buffet meat. I'm struggling to get this down. So while I've been here in Japan, I've just been eating. Most I've had is 2 meals a day, and yesterday was 1. The day before was 1. Just the buffet. That's all I've been eating, just the buffet, just 1 meal a day. Struggling.
Yeah, so coming up to another one. That was a shabu shabu, all you can eat buffet. Again, that was a real struggle. As I said, most days I was on just 1 meal a day while I was in Japan, because we went to so many of these all you can eats. Almost every day it was just all you can eat, and we were so full. After that, we actually walked back to my in-laws' home, my wife's parents' home, from the city, because we were just too full. We just had to walk it off, or at least walk off some of it. And that was a good. It took us almost an hour to walk, so it was a good walk. And we did that most days afterwards, because even for yakiniku the day before and the day before that, we pretty much just walked home, because it was just we were just so full. And there's another thing is, we're along the way, we'd walk past so many of these restaurants, these buffet restaurants. They're just absolutely everywhere in Japan. It's quite amazing. So you really, it's very easy to find. It's all over the place, so you don't have to look very far. Okay, so the next, I'm just going to show you a different steakhouse. This one wasn't a buffet, but also very good, very cheap, and I like the theming of it as well. So You can see they have a cow above the front door there. I just like the way this one was themed. It's just very cool. And that's what we came for, the 400-gram steak. There we are. Now, we took the family out for dinner, and this is what we got, these big 400-gram steaks each. And for the whole family, including a couple of sides for the family, it was $60, Australian, for 4 people with sides and these large steaks, or handbags they call it. I'll just pause that again because that is another one I want to show you. Now that steakhouse, they call it Bickery Donkey. They, $60 for a family of 4 people, 4 adults. We all left quite full, and that's just really cheap. Much cheaper than you could feed 4 people, 4 adults in Australia. So, okay, so this next lot. This is just an example. Another example I wanted to film for you was, department stores in Japan, like they usually have these basement levels, and they'll be filled with like cafes and restaurants. And this one in particular, just like the tray of meat that you can order is it's quite fun to look at actually. So let's have a look at that. This is the tray of meat you can order there. You see they have a lot of display food there on item, part of their menu. And this again is their menu. Here, this I just wanted to show you is, this actually, I said that shabu shabu restaurant, the morning before we went to this shabu shabu for lunch, we went to a place called Matsushima. It's a little bit close. It's on the coast. This was a gift shop that is just that was selling meat. It's quite common for when Japanese go anywhere, really, they bring home souvenirs to for the family and friends or co-workers and things like that. So these are quite common for them to buy. And for souvenirs for anyone really, any travelers really, you always buy souvenirs, don't you? So but what's not so common is that in Japan you go to a souvenir shop and you buy meat. This here souvenirs for you to buy. This is field packed meat that you can take home, and this is their souvenirs. Again, this is the supermarket. I went to first week to buy some meat. The supermarkets, they're 50% of it is dedicated to meat. At the moment here in Australia, the supermarket might be 1 or at the most maybe 2% dedicated to meat. The other 90-something is all processed garbage. There's more aisles for processed junk food, chemicals that you do see a lot of this meat is already sliced in, cut, packed, because they like they steaks that show you in the short. And just rows and rows of things, and all kinds of things, including organ meat and all kinds of seafood. Absolutely anything that lives in the ocean, they'll have in the supermarket. This is how we ate. In that 2 weeks, we spent most of our time at buffets, and the other maybe 5%, maybe 20% we bought from the supermarket. But literally, you can get any sort of meat that you want in the supermarket. Very fresh food. See some of those packs, they're already made up sushi. You can get packs, lunch packs, already made up. They're not just for sushi, but for other meals as well. Packs of already cooked meat, so you can grab a cheap lunch as well. Look at this guy's cooking steak in Japan. This is one of the steaks I bought from that supermarket.
That is,
I've got to say, it was
beautiful.
Yeah, one of the most
Cooking in lard.
steaks I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, I love that. That's gonna be my dinner tonight.
Yeah, so yeah, all in all, just a fantastic trip. And as I said before, it's very easy to be carnivore in Japan. There are restaurants that cater for it. There are supermarkets everywhere. You really will not go hungry, and it is very, very cheap. It is so much cheaper than Australia, for example. And the quality, I've got to say, the quality of food was so much higher as well. It wasn't just a cheaper price, it was a much better quality. The meat, the food in general. I bought butter. Butter, it was made with raw milk. And raw milk products, raw dairy products in Australia are illegal. The butter that had 2 ingredients, raw milk and salt. That was it. These buffet lunches we went to and dinners, they used real salt as well. It wasn't just your white table salt. There was pink mineral salt. It was really good. Just everything was just such a great quality of food. And everywhere you went, it wasn't just these restaurants and supermarkets and things like that. It is absolutely everywhere in Japan. There is food advertised everywhere. There are restaurants, cafes, and little takeaways that just absolutely everywhere. It's mind-boggling, actually, like how many businesses are just running along each street. And it's really great to see. So if you ever get over there, I thoroughly recommend trying these places. I know if you don't speak Japanese, it might be a little difficult to find what you're looking for, but it's really not that hard, honestly. It's just so easy to navigate Japan. A lot of it's all in English as well, and it's it's just very easy to find. So anyway, I'll leave it there today, guys, and I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will see you again soon. Okay, next video I will show you some of the activities we did, some of the touristy spots we went, and I'll show you just how much walking they do in Japan. Okay, all right, guys, I'll leave it there. Take care. Have a great day or night, wherever you are.